Mike, just lay out a little bit of your background and being a detective and being a policeman, and just tell them how you, from the Marine Corps to police work in El Cerrito and Richmond, then to bodyguarding superstars all over the world.
Yeah, it took I'll make a very long story short. Started off in the Marine Corps when I was 17. Yeah, I'd like to say about 100 pounds ago. And ended up going from Marine Corps. I was stationed in Rota, Spain, which the only medal I got was for the Battle of the Hangover. And, I wish I had stories. I got good drunk stories. I don't have any battle stories. I cry from the hangovers. So it's PTSD, And then from there, I went right into being a cop. So I started at El Cerrito PD when I was 20. And at the time, I was the youngest cop, definitely in the Bay Area. It was unusual to the fact that my mom had to give me a permission letter. That's a true story. To buy a gun. That's a true story.
Wow. After being in the Marines, and you still had to get
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you had to be 21 to buy a pistol.
Of course,
I couldn't even go into the bars that I was doing bar checks on when I was a cop. I couldn't go back and have a drink at. It's a true story. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, too much, too fast, too soon. I could definitely say that was not probably the smartest move looking back. But that being said, did that, and then I became a detective during the whole gang war thing. So I was a gang detective for a very long time. And I think that I probably stayed in there longer than I should have. Then from there, I went to Richmond PD, and I stayed there for maybe shy of a year. And then I woke up one morning, it was a Friday. I said to myself, I wasn't having fun anymore. Didn't tell anybody. Walked in and wrote out a letter saying thanks for the memories, literally. And I won't be back for my next shift. Finished out my shift without anybody knowing. And that was the last time Richmond PD ever saw me. And that was 20 years ago, give or take. Yeah, I still talk to some of the guys, but there was no investigations, no nothing. I just you got to know when you leave when you're ready, and leave when you shouldn't stay too long, is what I always say. So I left there, and Mike.
You had received a great medal from the Attorney General for
for my work with kids. I got the Red Weapon Medal of Honor from the Attorney General for my work with kids and drugs and gangs. And I mean, I make it sound, thanks, Mike. I gloss over a lot of my career just because, believe it or not, I am humble. So I had a great career. Had a really great career, and as a patrolman and as a detective. And I spoke all over the country on gangs and traveled all over, helping gang problems and the like. But
we also filmed a PBS.
Yeah, you filmed the PBS.
You on the streets?
Yeah, that's right. That's when we saw that kid hit the buzzer beater from East Palo Alto. The game looked like it was lost, and the guy didn't give up, and he hit the buzzer beater. I remember that.
Yeah, amazing.
Wow.
It's funny how Mike was part of. Yeah, this kid, he
police
had to be for the PAL, police activities. The kid couldn't have been more than 15, and he had a shoe size at 15 years old. He had a 15-inch shoe. I remember that. And me and Mike said, "You got a 15-inch shoe? Jesus, great." And it went back and forth. It was a hell of a game, and the kid hit a buzzer beater. The championship, and the crowd lost it. Oh my God, it was something else. And you remember moments like that when you reminded. I remember the time we had Mike. We were at giving a talk at Portland Junior High School, and the teacher fell asleep.
And this was after a bad shooting
Grandma was over. The kids were sleeping in the bathtub because that was the safest place because of the drive-by shootings. That's how bad it was back then.
So dangerous.
Yeah, and and the teacher, the guy's teacher's auditorium's back, and the teacher was falling asleep.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, that shows you how much he cared. And man, I tell you, that was the time I lost my shit. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's not exactly how well I would put it. It was more than it was bringing
Yeah.
him to, no, he
Yeah.
needed to hear from somebody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
here
He
you
was,
are on the streets
man,
out there,
man.
and
These kids are
Chris
giving, these
Haley, and this guy's falling asleep
kids are
with
pouring
two
their hearts out.
teenagers that slept in the tub
Yep.
because
Yep.
they were afraid and their grandmother got killed in that house.
Yeah.
Mike, that was
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
115
It
people, huh?
was, you don't, you know, you say you don't forget stuff like that because you push it to the back of your mind. And
Right,
so,
right,
every now and then it burps back up. It's probably
right.
the best way of putting it. And
Yeah,
when it does, you know, you're like, yeah. And you don't, as a, how do I put it? As a cop, I guess, uh, you push that stuff down further and further and further until you realize that either you're no longer happy or you just, you know, it's time to move
right.
on. And for me, it was just, I knew it was, you know, time to move on. Other guys stayed at the fair too long.
Yeah.
So I just decided it was time for me to go.
Did you have a plan, or was it just kind of
No,
like?
no, that was probably the stupid, that was probably the stupidest thing I've ever done because I didn't have a plan. Yeah, sure, it worked out for me later in life, but I didn't. When I left, you know, married at the time, still married, and I remember everybody saying, my wife said, "What are you gonna do?" My dad took me out for a drink. The only time he's ever taken me out for a drink, to this day. Not that we have a bad relationship, my dad just doesn't drink. And he thought I'd lost my mind. He thought I'd had a nervous breakdown. I mean, it was bad. And had no plan, so I went to Mexico, of all places, and opened up a bar, of all things. I don't recommend that to anyone. Don't do that.
Dude, that was my 10-year plan, Mike.
Make that a never plan. Put that on a don't do that plan.
Yeah, let's
Don't
see. Cancel bar plan. Got it.
cancel
Okay.
bar.
Yeah.
Cancel opening a bar in Mexico
Yeah, I'm gonna.
when you
Oh.
don't speak Spanish. You're not a Mexican. Don't. I don't. Yeah, I did that, and I got literally ran out of Mexico. Literally, I got ran out of Mexico.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So how old were you at that point?
I was probably 32, 31, married. Mm-hmm.
And so after that, did you came back to the East Bay, Richmond and whatnot?
Yeah, I came back home. My wife was still here. I came back, and I still didn't have a plan. You know, that's the funny part. Still no plan. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. And now all this time I wanted to work security, be a bodyguard, I should say. So I'm sorry if I'm looking to my left. I'm at a restaurant. I'm just making sure they're not coming to kick me out because, you know, but then they look at me and go, "Black guy, it's okay. He's not setting the mood." They'll probably think I'm conspiring, getting ready for the next march
exactly.
in Yountville. You know, Black Lives Matter in Yountville.
What's he plotting? What's he plotting with those headphones on?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet you that's Jay-Z over there. I end up. No, when I came back, I didn't have a plan, and I started cooking barbecue, doing competition barbecue because I got it in my mind that I could do it, and I did okay. Better than most, not as good as others. And my wife says she got tired of me smelling like smoke, so that pretty much ended that dream. So there I was without a plan, filling her out, and then I was doing bodyguard work on the side. I wanted to do it full time, but I just couldn't figure the combination to get in. And then show you how stealing Mike's line. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So I was on a plane and coming back from LA, and I had just finished working like a week on a movie, and there was a guy sitting next to me on Southwest. I'll never forget it. That's when Southwest faced each other, and we were fighting for leg room, and he was wearing a hat that had a stuntman hat. And I said, "Hey, are you a stunt guy?" And he looks down. I remember he was reading a script and he looks down and he says, no. And he puts the script back up and starts reading, completely dismissive. And so there was my shot, I thought. So sure enough, I pull out a cigar magazine, and he looks over, he goes, you smoke cigars? And I look down over my magazine, I go, no. And I put my cigar magazine back up and started reading. He goes, well played. And we got to talking. Turns out he was one of the biggest producers, still is one of the biggest producers in Hollywood. Didn't know it.
Wow.
Yeah, became friends. He later called me up to come work a movie. I worked a movie, and next thing you know, I've been in this business nonstop for the last, I don't know, 17, 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen to you. You never know what's going to happen to you. And
the people he bodyguards are very happy. He's
yeah,
a great guy.
yeah. We've stayed in good contact. Matter of fact, guess what? I talked to Chris Gardner the other day, Mike.
Oh, tell him I send my love. Yeah, he's
I will.
great guy.
Hey, Steve, you want to hear a great story?
Yeah, always.
All right. So me, Mike, and Chris Gardner from The Pursuit of Happiness are in Beverly Hills Hotel, and neither Mike or Chris drinks. Of course, I've been known to have one or two. So it's midday, and they order iced tea. For some strange reason, the girl's thinking Long Island iced tea.
Here's what I found. Please look at the screen.
She brings over 3 Long Island iced teas, unbeknownst to Mike or Chris, who don't drink. Now, I drink mine without a flinch because it's a Long Island iced tea. These two take 2 big gulps of Long Island iced tea, not knowing it, and spit it out like it was holy water to the devil. It was the funniest thing. I swear before God, that's a true story. It was hilarious. And they both look at each other, laugh, and they go, "You don't drink either?"
It was
That's
the perfect,
great.
that's the perfect moment for Spearman to get a laugh on you.
Oh my God! I tell you what, Doc, if you would have seen this, you would have peed on yourself. It was literally the moment of
right
just
there
one.
in the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Right in the Beverly Hills Hotel, they spit it out like it's holy water hit the devil. I am telling you, it was hilarious. They're like, "That's not iced tea."
One of my favorite moments of life was, you want your kids, if they're growing up in privileged circumstances, to understand the world that a detective and a gang detective works in. So Connor went on a ride along with Mike.
Oh yeah, sure did.
And you can tell them about the night because he came home, I think he was 18 in freshman year at Loyola Marymount.
Knew everything.
He woke me up at 2 a.m. and he goes, "Dad, I get it now." And I say, "It's 2 a.m. in the morning, son, go to bed." And then I call him and I go, "What happened last night? Tell him what happened that night." Yeah. If you can remember.
It was a normal night in Richmond where shootings and stabbings. And we were getting ready to finish off the shift. Well, I remember Connor comes in to line up. And I say, "Hey, just show up the lineup and then you go out on me." And then he comes in, Connor, comes in with cameras and everything. And the guys that go, whoa, wait a minute here. Who's this and why are you have cameras? And they go, "Hey, son, you got to put the cameras away." He goes, "But I'm trying to film this." He goes, "Keep it as a memory. Put the camera away." So
Right.
Connor sheepishly walks back to his car, puts the camera away. So we have a good night. I mean, a good night of patrol work is, there's a lot of action. And then probably about 30, 40 minutes before the night was up, I said, "We're going to get into a car chase, Connor." He goes, "Yeah, right." I said, No. I'll show you. We can get into a car chase. 5 minutes later, I said, "Watch." I light up this car chase goes on, and Connor, it's just eyes as big as 2 saucers. And we're chasing these guys all over town. And God, they get out, they start running. I remember yelling at Connor, "I'm get out, stay in the car." And we're running. Man, cops from everywhere coming,
Man.
We take him in jail, and Connor's looking like he had just saw the face of death. He's like, I'll never come out on a police ride again. I'm like, yeah, this is what we do. Yeah. You live in Marin. This is the moat. Don't cross the moat. That bridge is the moat, Connor. The bridge is the moat. Don't cross the moat, man. Unless you're
Richmond San Rafael Bridge.
Yeah, that's the moat. That's the moat, man.
There you go, man.
Yeah, that's the moat.
Thank you for joining us in the Barracks. To learn more about our hosts, guests, and how to support Vets Mobile Dental Unit, visit www.inthebarracks.org.